The episode of Locked On Disappointment Chicago Bulls. On today's episode, we're going to talk about the Bulls having another second half letdown, teams game planning for Coby White, and Dalen Terry goes down with injury. We're going to talk about all that and more right after this.
You are Locked On Bulls, your daily podcast on the Chicago Bulls, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Thank you for tuning in to Locked On Bulls, member of the Locked On Podcast Network, where it's your team every single day. That's Pat the Designer, host and creator of the Windy City Breeze and host of the Chicago Bears podcast over at ESPN 1000. I'm Haize, host and creator of Chicago Bulls and Chicago Bears Central. And, hey, we're going to get into it. Thank you for making Locked On Bulls your first listen, by the way, today. Pat, first of all, the biggest question in the room is, how did you get Gerald Levert to be on your podcast?
Hey, listen. We both got C-dubs on our team. They're both two of the most interesting dudes you'll ever meet. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. Like it's kind of listen, you work some things out, you bring people back to life, and then you put them on a podcast. That's really how it goes.
Yeah. No, but seriously,
hold
man.
on, Gerald Levert dead? Gerald Levert dead, right? Like I'm not.
You out here killing people? No, Gerald Levert's dead.
Okay, I was about to say I didn't want to. Y'all know I be aging people out. I didn't want to age them off the earth.
But with that said, brother, man, the Bulls lost again today, bro. A game against the Toronto Raptors where they had a double-digit lead yet again, and the Bulls lose the game. And the thing that really always shows its ugly head with the Chicago Bulls is how they just don't. It's like they think things are in a vacuum. Like they think the teams are going to take the first half losing, and they're just going to come out and do the same things. We never adjust to other teams' adjustments. Never. We don't force them out of their adjustments. This was a game to me where effort, coaching, and a few other things came together, and the Bulls just did not have enough down the stretch. When you look at it, losing the third quarter by 11 points, losing the fourth quarter by 10 points. DeMar DeRozan scored 13 out of the 18 points in the fourth quarter scored. Just a lot of the typical things that really bring together usually a Bulls loss when they lose a lead. How you feeling, Pat?
I mean, listen, welcome to the identity of your team. If this is surprising to people at this point, what team have you been watching? And I'll take it as far back as you need to with Billy Donovan here in Chicago, because this has been the identity of this team for 3 seasons now.
Yeah.
Like, this is not new. This is what your team is going to be. This is what a Billy Donovan coach Chicago Bulls team right now looks like. Your players have to be able to withstand that battle. He's not going to intervene and sit there and give you these major adjustments that you need to go. Now, I think there's some things that are fundamental, right? Like the open three in the corner. I'm pretty sure Billy Donovan's letting people know, hey, maybe close out on that guy. But there's some things that you're just not going to see him change. And the one thing that to me that stands out the most is when you get into a fourth quarter situation where you're down in the box score, right? And now you're sitting there going, okay, well, maybe we can come back. We're not down a lot. Coby White takes 2 shots. I understand DeMar DeRozan taking over in the fourth quarter, but DeMar DeRozan took 7 shots. It's not like he was launching it up every chance he got there, right? Like Coby White took 2 shots. What are we doing? Why are we not setting things up to get the ball into the hands of your playmaker? Why are you not having Coby White find his way back to the ball? You had a 6-minute scoring drought, and Coby White took 1 shot in that entire 6-minute scoring drought. Now, this is not all on Billy Donovan. This is not the Bash Billy show, because you know what? When you turn the basketball over 17 times, you're probably going to lose games. And the only reason that you were even remotely in this game is because they turned the basketball over 19 times, but off of their turnovers, you didn't capitalize offensively, when off of your turnovers, they were able to put points on the board. This is the Bulls continue to lose the number game. This is the identity of this Bulls team. I'm not surprised by anything that we're seeing here with this team at this point. I honestly feel like this is the Bulls team that we have. They're going to blow leads. They're going to get up big. They're going to be able to punch teams in the mouth, but they're not going to be able to take the punch back. It's just who we are.
Yeah, I mean, much like TD Jakes, they're gonna blow. Apparently, I mean, it's what
I mean,
it
I
is.
don't know about that. I thought TD Jakes was swallowing. I didn't think he was. Was there something else? Have you ever been swallowed? Have you ever gone through a time of great swallowing? Have you ever been swallowed up? Now I did hear very similar to the Bulls that TD Jakes does enjoy the bottom.
Okay, now it's time to move on. So with that said,
what? I thought we were talking about the bottom of the the standings. The standings. I thought, okay.
Julian Phillips. How'd you feel Julian Phillips picked up on his last game against the Portland Trail Blazers?
I mean, listen, I thought he had a solid first half. Didn't get utilized nearly as much offensively in the second half. What I would expect from Julian Phillips at this point. Didn't take a shot in the second half. Didn't do anything really in the second half. Would have liked to see some better defense from him, but in the few minutes of play that he was out there, but wasn't bad. Yeah, I mean, like it was a solid game for a rookie that you're not expecting anything from. I know Bulls fans are going to come out here and say he was cooking in the first half. Why isn't he cooking in the second half? He's been in the NBA for 45 games. That's why. Like that's the only reason. Like there's nothing deeper. We're trying to hold him back. We're trying to and it's again, when you look at the first half, the part that excites me about this kid's future.
Yeah.
He's always in the right spot. All of his plays, all of his points, all of his scoring came from him simply being in the right spot, diving at the right times, getting to the bucket, getting on the boards. That's what I want to see from this kid. IQ seems to be out of the roof. Now he's just got to keep showing that on a day in and day out basis. And that's going to be the thing that gets you more time on the court. I think that he earned more minutes on the court today, especially with the injury issues that continue to pop up for the Bulls. We may be seeing a lot more of Julian Phillips, and his role offensively may grow.
Yeah, facts there. Like I know I touched a little bit on Billy Donovan and his coaching in this game. One thing as well that we didn't talk about is Nikola Vucevic is playing like absolute butt cheeks out there. It's bad. It's bad. And me and you have been very fair when it comes to Nikola Vucevic when people kind of criticized him for things we talked about. Like last year was one of the most consistent Bulls regularly. Yep. This season, to me, it's almost as if Nikola Vucevic, the calendar flipped. He added another age to his year, and God was like, hey, half that skill, bring me that, my boy.
Yeah. Now, Vooch walk around like he need to keep this on him at all times. I'm holding up toilet paper here. Yes, I have toilet paper just sitting on the desk.
Why do you have toilet paper just on the desk?
Because I have sinus problems. It's not worth me buying.
You don't buy tissue like a civilized person? You just use rolls
I just buy toilet paper. Okay. Like toilet paper and tissue is well, no, it's not the same thing. Do not wipe with tissue, y'all.
I was about to say, you ever wipe with tissue? And you'll find out quickly it's not the same thing.
Hey, you will find out real quick. 2 fingers. But no, I feel like just like the Bulls, when it break through, now you got crap on your hands. You know what I mean? Just like the Bulls. There's so many just like the Bulls references on tonight's episode because of how bad this team is.
Oh my God.
But no, I really feel like I don't even know what I was talking about. What were we talking about?
I don't know, bro. You messed it up with that one. I'm not even gonna front on you, bro. It's over with. It was over with for me.
I feel like this Bulls team. Oh, we talk about Vooch. Yeah. Vooch to me, I think you're starting to see, some of the rust hit him at this point. And there's a lot of responsibility that's being thrown on him. There's a lot that's being put on his shoulders, and he's not being able to bounce back from it right now. So that's a problem. And it's going to be a problem for, until you can get him some help. But we'll see when the Bulls are going to be able to go out there and get him some help. Like, there's not a lot of power forward help coming. Maybe Torrey Craig coming back, right? But he's not going to play on this back-to-back. First chance to play is Saturday. Maybe that's a point where you feel like Vooch is going to kind of get back into it. But going against some of these teams when it's just you being the big man down there, and the him and Drummond minutes were interesting. They weren't bad. But it's just you just don't have enough scores on the floor. And if you're not willing to go down to Vooch in the post, like, it's over.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. It wasn't a good game. It wasn't a a good showing by the Bulls at any point. And unfortunately, I think this is honestly just the team that you have.
That's a fact. That's a fact. And talking about the team that we have, teams have been game planning for Coby, and Coby isn't necessarily adjusting the best to it. I still like a lot of what he's doing. Me and Pat are going to talk about that here next. But before we get into that, I got to talk to you guys about one of our sponsors, and that is eBay Motors. Our partners at eBay Motors have teamed up with Locked On Fantasy Basketball host Josh Lloyd to bring you some of the best fantasy picks each week all season long. Whether you're preparing for a daily draft or scouting the waiver wire, every week we're going to provide you players that are guaranteed to fit your roster. So let's see who Josh has picked out for us on this week's eBay's Guaranteed Pick Fantasy Picks of the Week. So he actually has Ayo Dosunmu on here. With Levine and Williams both injured, Dosunmu has seen his minutes and usage bump up while also being more aggressive offensively and maintaining efficiency for at least the short term. He has value. Pat, me and you talk about the Bulls every single day. It's Locked On Bulls. How do you feel about Ayo Dosunmu potentially being a solid pickup for people on their fantasy team?
I wouldn't be mad at Ayo. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I think that'd probably be a good pickup because of how much he impacts the game on both sides, how much he's been scoring in double digits, and I feel like, you know, his steals, his assists, different things like that, that plays well in fantasy.
Yeah, absolutely. When you look at it through games as a starter, he's averaging only 8.3 points per game, but he's doing 3 assists, 1 block, 1 steal, 4 rebounds. He's shooting effective 41% from the field. He's also on this now 8-game stretch of scoring 10 points or more. He could be a really good pickup for you guys on your fantasy waiver wire if he's available or if you want to make a trade for him. So Ayo Dosunmu, good pick there. Josh Lloyd from Locked On Fantasy Basketball is going to help you win your fantasy championship, and eBay Motors knows a championship team is about each player being a perfect fit. Same with your vehicle. With over 122 million parts for your number one ride or die, you can make sure your ride stays running smoothly. Brake kits, LED headlights, roof rack bumpers, whatever your baby needs, eBay Motors has it. And with the eBay Guaranteed Fit, it's guaranteed to fit your ride the first time, every time, or your money back. Plus, at these prices, you're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. eBay Guaranteed Fit, only available to U.S. customers. Eligible items and exclusions do apply. All right, Pat. In this game, it was evident very early on that the Toronto Raptors wanted to get the ball out of Coby White's hands. He started off this game in the first half, 1 of 4 from the field, 0 for 1 from three-point range. It looked like he was going to start turning it around for a moment there. It didn't stay consistent. He kind of still stayed at the same level. But in this game, it did look like he was trying to bring out more of the point guardsmanship, a little bit more facilitating once he realized that shot wasn't going to be falling and what the defenses did to him. He ended up with an efficient night, technically, 5 of 10 from the field, 6 assists, 2 rebounds, 1 steal, only 1 turnover from Coby White for the 13 points there. I've always kind of said over on Central that the next phase of Coby White, really to see how sustainable this is going to be, is how he adjusts to teams actually game planning for him. And at least tonight, it was a mixed bag. How do you feel about it?
You got to do more. You got to do more tonight. You do. Like, I'm sorry. Like, you lost the numbers game in a game where they turned the ball over 19 times.
Yeah.
You turned it over 17 times. You lost it. You took less shots than them. He took 10 shots tonight in total. He took less shots than Ayo, took less shots than Vooch. I'm fine with you being the facilitator, but guess what? You don't get that option anymore. You're the leading scorer. You're the number one guy offensively. You have to find a way to do more. This is a night where I wanted to see Coby White be able to, yes, they're attacking me. They're pressing me. Okay, use those handles to find your way to an open shot and get some shots up. You're the next best option offensively.
But I get that. But that's not always feasible. There are going to be times where you're not. So you would rather see Coby White force potentially bad shots rather than facilitate more as a point guard?
I don't
mean that's not. I'm just for the nature of the conversation.
I'm just saying I would rather see Coby White take the shots that we've seen him take and use his handle that we've seen improve to get the shots that we've seen him take. Right? Like, yeah, they're double teaming. It's different. It's different if we finish the night and Coby White leaves here with 12 assists. He got 6.
Well, nobody else can hit a shot in the second half of the game.
100%, right? Yeah. So guess what? So you're the offense, my guy. Yeah, I mean, like we don't. if Coby White's going to take that next step, it can't be, I can't get my shot up tonight. You are now the guy that can have the inefficient night because you're trying to shoot yourself back into the game. You are now the guy that can have the Stephen Curry. I know this is a stretch, but these are the guys that he's on pace with shooting the basketball from 3 and things like that. But you can have the Stephen Curry night. We look at the stat sheet and we go, ooh, 1 for 10. That was tough because you're losing. You lost. It's not like you just got outscored. You didn't put up enough shots to win today's game. You put up 75 shots. They put up 83, and they didn't have anybody playing tonight. Like literally half of the Raptors were dead. There were 3 dudes that got on the court, and I was like, oh, yeah, he do play for them. Like, yeah, I mean, so like, I need to see more from
you. Did get 20 minutes of dick tonight, so I mean,
ooh, it was a lot too. Yeah, I wasn't expecting that much. He didn't hit hard though. He didn't hit hard. I thought he was really going to hit the ground when he got out there. But, yeah, I mean, it was just one lone shot.
Sometimes that's all you need is the one shot. The money. Some may call it the money shot. Some may call it that. I don't know who would, but some may call it that.
But no, I feel like now, right? Like let's be real. If this was last year and we left a game and Zach LaVine had put up a stat line like this, we'd be like, hey, yo, you can't not take shots. That's where Coby is now for me. Yeah. Right? You've done more, you've scored more, you've played more. Guess what? My expectations for you are higher now. You should be the number 1 or number 2 scorer every single night. And tonight I didn't see Coby White play like that.
That's fair. That's fair. And this is one of those games where you do need somebody else who's going to step up. But again, like we talked about, nobody had it going in the fourth quarter but DeMar. 18 points scored in the fourth quarter, 13 of those coming from DeMar DeRozan. And it was another game where DeMar, he only took 17 shots in the game. So that's when people try to do the whole ball hog thing with DeMar here lately, it's like, I need you to actually look at the game. Because if it wasn't for DeMar turning it on, we would have literally probably lost this game by 25 points.
But I think even that, right? Like that's the problem to me, right? Like in the fourth quarter, it just felt like we weren't shooting. It felt like
it went back to players hoping that DeMar was going to save us.
Exactly, and that's the part for me that I think was the most irritating. And I don't know how you I guess we can kind of put that on Billy Donovan, maybe tell the guys to shoot, but they know to shoot. Like this is a situation now where I'm looking at the fourth quarter. Nobody else took 5 shots. Are you kidding me? Like, again, you're not playing, like you said earlier, you're not playing like you're down. You're not playing like you're losing the game. And you're not getting better options right now coming in. Like, I don't know. The guys that are coming in that maybe are going to replace Zach LaVine and or DeMar DeRozan, if they do, are role players. Yeah. You need to come into games like this with the mindset of, I need to put this ball in the air. Leave that one alone. I saw the look in your face. It felt.
Don't worry about
the look in your face. I saw the look in your face. I got nervous.
No, I think the money shot joke was it for today. That's it. I think that was it. I'm done with the jokes for today.
All right, you know what I mean. But no, I want to see more from this Bulls team offensively, and I just want to see them. Like, I think the funniest part about all of this was, it literally just seemed like, I guess the one thing I can throw at Billy was they were just out there.
Yeah.
It didn't seem like they were running anything. It didn't seem like they were trying to set anything up. It didn't seem like they were trying to they just were existing on the court. There was a basketball game happening at the United Center tonight, and the Bulls just happened to be a part of
it. Yeah. I just wish that the team as a whole, once a team goes on a run in the third quarters, because it just seems like that's just part of the identity of this team, is that somebody else stood up. Now, sometimes that's going to be Coby. He didn't have it tonight, and that's why I look at it and say that thing that, you know, Coby, a big part of the next phase of his development is what you're saying. How do you find a way to always give that impact? How do you adjust and come out and then say in the second half? And we've seen him do it in some games, and he say, hey, the first half wasn't mine. I got something for you in the second half. And Coby kind of, and with much of the team, I don't want to blame it on just Coby, with much of the team just didn't know what to do in the fourth quarter of this game because the Bulls were still in a position to potentially come back in this game, and they just didn't do it.
It was too passive. That's all it was. It was too passive. Coby White, you were too passive today. And that's okay. Guess what? Don't be too passive tomorrow. You got another game tomorrow. Maybe that's why they were being more passive down the stretch because they got a back-to-back here tomorrow. I don't know. I wouldn't say with the Bulls, that's a gamble that you never want to take. But I guess you do have the Charlotte Hornets tomorrow. But listen, if you're going to get back to 500, these are the games you got to get.
Yeah, for sure.
You got Toronto and Charlotte. That should have been 2 wins. Now you've lost 3 out of your last 4.
Yep.
Again, first teams that it felt like you should have beat.
That you were in a position to definitely beat those teams. So
yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's going to be interesting kind of to see how this Bulls team bounces back. But we do got to talk about some of the injury issues that are going to affect this team moving forward. Bulls lose another piece in Dalen Terry. So want to talk about that. But first, we have to tell you guys all about LinkedIn Jobs. At the start of the new year, every small business owner is asking themselves the same question. What's the one move that I can make that'll take my business to the next level in 2024? LinkedIn Jobs knows that your success all depends on your team you surround yourself with. That's why LinkedIn Jobs has created the tool to help you find the right professionals for your team faster and for free. If you listen to Nick Angstead, whenever he tells it and does this ad read, he found me on LinkedIn Jobs and
lying to people, just out here lying to people.
He found me on LinkedIn Jobs. Hey, that's what he's
lying to people, flat out just lying. That's crazy.
But LinkedIn Jobs is not just another job board. Why'd I go Angstead on that? Why was I going long A? I don't know. LinkedIn has a vast network of more than 1 billion professionals, which makes it the best place to hire. Hiring is easy when you have when you have that many quality candidates. So easy, in fact, that 86% of small businesses get qualified candidates within 24 hours. That's why small business rates LinkedIn Jobs #1 in delivering quality hires versus leading competitors. LinkedIn also knows that small businesses are wearing so many hats and might not have the time or resources to hire. Thankfully, with LinkedIn, the process is intuitive, quick, and easy. Post your job for free at LinkedIn.com/LockedOnNBA. That's LinkedIn.com/LockedOnNBA to post your job for free. Terms and conditions do apply. So you're saying Nick didn't find me on LinkedIn Jobs? That's what you're saying?
No. I have the text message history where I said Pat the Designer is my co-host.
Oh, okay. All right. Y'all just didn't even ask, just said it.
I literally didn't ask.
Just laid it down.
Dalen Terry goes down with injury in this game. So a bunch of injury news today. Patrick Williams having a major foot injury. He's going to miss at least be 2 weeks until he's reevaluated again. Yep. Dalen Terry goes down in this one. I doubt he's going to play tomorrow, even if it's not a long-term injury. Torrey Craig could be returning potentially on Saturday.
Sprained ankle, by the way.
Sprained ankle, okay. Torrey Craig could be coming back Saturday against the Kings. What all the injuries and everything around the Bulls, man. Dalen Terry, hopefully a speedy recovery. But how you feeling about all the injury updates around the Bulls, man?
Who's going to step up? This is an opportunity to meet.
It's hurt ankles and feet. Nobody's stepping up.
Hey, listen, it hurt ankles, feet, and Zach LaVine's getting a toe dipped in him possibly. You know what I mean? There's a lot of feet going on around the Bulls, bro. You know what I mean? Just wondering if anybody's ever been swallowed up. But I really feel like, hey, don't you spit take on this show, dog. Don't you spit take on this show.
You would say that literally right as I drink the water.
You want to know what the worst thing is? There's probably so many people that aren't of the culture and have no idea what we're talking about when we say swallowed up.
Swallowed.
Have you ever been swallowed up? But no, I just who's gonna step up? That's really what I want to see. There's a ton of young pieces on this team. Could you bring up an Unor Alpatim? Could you bring up a Adama Sanago? I think he could be a piece that, listen, when the rebounding battle was said and done in this one, I would have loved to see a little bit of Adama on the floor. To me, Julian Phillips, here's your time. Here's your moment. And it's not a moment, right? Like, I need you to go into this with the mindset that you currently have IQ-wise with the heart that Dalen Terry has, because you're never going to get more of an opportunity to take shots on the court, prove that you can be a legit scorer in this NBA right now, and be like Dalen. Just go to the hole. Dalen don't care. Hey, this ain't your shot. Don't matter. I'm taking it. Up and under. Wow. What are we doing? Hey, Dalen, corner. You cover it. I'm taking the three. Don't worry about that. Stepping out of bounds on the way to dunk this basketball. Give me some of that. Yeah, I mean, this is your rookie season. I really want to see what you can do. I'm excited by what I've seen. Show me more, because there's nothing but opportunity in front of you, and it's the Charlotte Hornets. They're gross.
They're very gross. Very gross. When with the Bulls, Hornets, we'll preview that game tomorrow, whatever. But when it comes down to it, it's just this: the Bulls just need to execute, and I don't want to oversimplify it. Yeah, Dalen Terry going down sucks. It means we're probably going to get even more of Javon Carter, unless Billy Donovan does call up an Adama Sanogo or Ernalot Bateen. But when it comes down to it, it's just the Bulls team just has to execute. We are easily, with better execution down the stretch, more effort. We're talking about easily over this last stretch of games, probably 2 or 3 more wins.
Yeah.
It just comes down to that. And I know that's hard to sustain when you got to play a full 48 minutes and we're a back-to-back, which is so weird to come back home after a West Coast trip for one game and then go back on the West Coast the next day. These games should have been flipped.
Is Charlotte West Coast?
I'm thinking about Sacramento. That's on Saturday. Sorry. Charlotte's not West Coast.
I was like,
Charlotte's not West Coast. So never mind. Take that critique back. But still, to even come back home for one game and then go back on the road, why not just stay on the road and come back home then?
Yeah, no, I don't understand it either. It's dumb. But it's you know what's the dumb part about it is you're going into this losing. That's what's dumb. You're going into this with a loss to Phoenix that should have been a win, even though that's really how Phoenix just plays. So I guess that's tough.
They've been doing that same thing to a lot of people.
Everybody, bro. It's insane. Yeah. A loss to the Lakers where it didn't even feel like you showed any heart in that game at any point. And then a loss tonight. Yeah, I mean, like you should be coming into this Charlotte game with at worst 2-2. Instead, you're coming into it 1-. Oh no, you are 2-2. You should have been coming into this game 3-1.
Yeah, could have definitely done that.
So, they are who we thought they were. That's the theme of this Bulls season. They are who we thought they were.
They are who we thought they were,
and we let them off the hook.
Yeah, we'll see, man. Game against Charlotte coming up tomorrow or tonight if you listen to this the next day, but. We'll see how the Bulls perform in that game, man. Let's hope that it's much better than what we've seen here recently. That's for sure.
For sure, man. For sure. Appreciate you guys for tuning in and showing love, man. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave that 5-star review. Appreciate y'all. Follow us on everything at Locked On Bulls. You can follow me on everything at Pat the Designer. I don't know.
You can follow me at CEO Haize. And thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Locked On Bulls. We are free and available on every podcasting app and platform of your choice, as well as YouTube and the Odyssey app. For Pat the Designer, I'm Haize. It's been Locked On Bulls. We out here. Peace, y'all.
Peace. There's no music when the Bulls lose. I'm going to just play.
Swallowed up.
Have you ever been swallowed up? Have you ever gone through a time of great swallowing? That TD Jakes joke was crazy.
It's crazy.